What a game. And we've missed football like that, I mean, for a few months now. And to see Mo Salah 30 yards away from us, right in front of the cot, that's pretty emotional. You know, obviously it was emotional. It was an emotional night. I mean, the game was so end to end, so fast paced, not perfect from Liverpool, but the intensity of the game, I don't know. I mean, the longer we're away to the live action, when we come back, it looks so powerful and quick and energetic. I thought Bournemouth maybe in the second half just came off that a little bit and Liverpool stepped up again, but they came back again. Liverpool looks a little open on the counter-attack, something that they're going to have to address a little bit. But the spirit of the team, Rebecca, from getting 2-2 back and then going on again, that was a pretty remarkable performance.
But you have to give Liverpool credit. I mean, great. It was an emotional night. It was an unbelievable night in terms of the atmosphere at Anfield. The fans were just amazing in the tribute to Diogo and to Andre.
I thought it was an exciting game. I thought it was a good game. Being the first teams to play, especially before everyone else has played, sometimes always can be nervy, and the results might not go the way they should do. But you know, it was a fantastic game. But full credit to Bournemouth for not giving up. 2-0, I thought our game's dead and buried, but they came back strong. And in typical fashion, Liverpool, making you sweat, giving you anxiety, making it go through the roof. But we managed to get the job done. All it was about was mainly getting off to a good start and getting 3 points.
At 2-2, the game was in the balance. They'd done from 2-0 up, and I was watching closely the players. There was no real verbal communication. It was almost like it is non-verbal. It was like, come on, we need to pull a result out today. We're not leaving this pitch without the 3 points. Their firepower got them back into the game. Kaiser and Salah getting the 2 goals that give them the lead. As we spoke before, it was a lot more open than we've seen from an Arne Slot team, and that might be introduction of new players. But the main thing was to get the 3 points, and they got them.
Well, we just saw Semenyo just literally run through the whole of the midfield, that area. If you look at what we had on the pitch, we didn't really have, for the start of the game, someone who's just going to sit there, hold, and be that defensive kind of midfield minded like Ryan is. So we do miss that, and that position in this league is absolutely, it's like gold dust. If you've got a good number 6, a good DM, a CDM, it makes the team so much more secure and sturdy. So yeah, he's a big miss, and having him back is going to be fantastic for the team.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that I'm trying to get, as always, the positive side. It's the first game of the season. They are players who have to adapt to a new style, a new team, a new league, the intensity, and to be exposed. So many times you guys are talking about that Liverpool right now looks really, really vulnerable at the back. Don't forget, Ekitike, it's true that he struggled today, had a lot of problems to hold in that left side on his own. They are 2 players in the middle of the park, McAllister and Salah, that they do a fantastic job, but they are always attacking minus, so the transition are always going to be in favor of the opponent that is waiting for those kind of situations. And it's true that the depth in the squad that the Liverpool has got at the moment is why today they managed to get the result, because at the point of 2-2, I was really doubting they were going to get on the top, because I think Bournemouth did a very good job to this Liverpool side. So it's true that in the last couple of games, Arnold mentioned about being vulnerable and being exposed quite often. They concede 4 goals in the last 2, but this Liverpool, it has to improve on that matter. They just signed a new centre back, so that means they know that is something they need to be fixed. But in the end, they scored 4 goals once again, and they managed to get the 3 points the first game of the season. So I'm getting to all those positive vibes, and I think that this Liverpool is going to be right there, getting fixed what they need to do, and up front again being really a big threat every single time that the ball is in the last third.
Yeah, it did, but when I think about this, it's nothing that we've not been used to, because when we had Robertson and Trent in their heyday, they used to do exactly the same thing. How many times did we see Konate have to run out to the right back area? So it's not something kind of new that we're dealing with or we're used to. We've had it when we had Robertson and Trent there. So I just think it's just about, it's new players, new team. It's just about them getting an understanding a little bit more. But again, that will come more with each game, each week, each training session. I don't think it's major concerns, but if we do concede, all we've got to do is score more. I'd be
he can have bad days. I think the fact that his very first game is against his former side, against probably the best player for Bournemouth as well in Semenyo, he probably knew he was going to be on the back foot. And in fairness to Bournemouth, they kind of targeted him. And that matchup, as we saw today, is probably something which they saw every day in training through the time that they were together. So they knew that it was going to favour Semenyo.
Right.
And also, this is a young player getting a chance to play now in this situation for Liverpool, a team trying to retain the title. So there'll be nerves in there. And I think for me, it looked like a nervous performance. I think the yellow card itself, just before he committed the foul, you could hear the crowd say, come on, because he's keen to go and make that tackle. But when he's a bit calmer and the nerves aren't there, you understand that he can't get there. So he plays a different sort of game. So it looked to me like a youngster's performance. But unfortunately for him, it was against a player who, basically has probably had his number for the last couple of years anyway.
They don't want that to be normal, Rebecca. And I know there's new fullbacks that we talked about, and they come out of the game, on a slot subs. We often praise managers for great subs. Didn't really work great. It didn't work great. Endo went right back. Robertson came in. They looked a little slow off the pace. He's got to address that. He's got to address it. We know attacking-wise they're superb, but that openness a little bit, something they'll try and then fix.
I actually want to critique him slightly about some of the substitutions that he made. Obviously, the fullbacks going off and then leaving themselves exposed defensively. 2 very quick goals were scored against them, and great credit to the way Semenyo punished them. But I thought Arne Slot was found out there defensively.
Yeah, I think the stat on Match of the Day was that he got caught out on counter-attacks with conceding 2 goals the whole of last season, and obviously already 2 goals against Bournemouth on Friday night. I mean, they're always going to score goals because of the players that they've got in that team, the brilliant players, and we'll talk about Ekitike. But I think, they look very, very vulnerable defensively on the turnover of possession, particularly in behind both fullbacks, whether that was Kirkez, Frimpong, or whether it was Robertson when he brought him on, or Endo, I think he brought on as well, didn't he, at right back?
To Liverpool, the biggest thing that may hold them back this season, as early as the first game of the season, and we saw a bit of it in the Community Shield, is defensively they do look vulnerable. And if they ever can gel properly going forward, goodness knows how many goals Liverpool will score. Because today they scored 4, and we can't honestly say that they didn't really gel. And a couple of the breakaways came from the things that had been going wrong. Somebody playing the wrong pass or a poor pass, and 5 and 6 players cut out the game. And then the opposition are getting a Liverpool. So
I thought they were exposed defensively. Konate looked pretty poor in that game defensively, especially in the first half. He looked a little bit shaky. But then that counter-attack, there's no pace from Van Dijk and not much from Konate either. And if your fullbacks are bombing forward, you leave yourself exposed, whether it's a corner kick or not. You're always going to be vulnerable. But at the end of the day, chemistry is everything. It will take Liverpool Football Club time to be able to get their product right on the field.
You don't want to overreact to it. That's the first thing. Same way we didn't want to overreact last week. And the fact is they have won the game. But that's 2 games now we've seen where they have been very vulnerable, especially on the counter. And in some ways, as well as we were watching the game, those subs at 60 minutes to take off the 2 fullbacks in Frimpong and Kirkez. Yes, Kirkez wasn't having the best of games. So Robertson coming on, that's fine. But why is Endo playing right back now? And you can see Liverpool lost a little sense and sort of control of the game as such. So those opportunities that the opposition have, I'll be honest, from the perspective of somebody who's played for more underdogs than, say, favourites throughout a season, when you see a team show a sort of vulnerability like Liverpool shown these last 2 games, it offers you encouragement. I think when they look rock solid, in some ways you sort of put off and you wonder how. But Semenyo running through for that second goal, nobody laid a glove on him. Nobody at any point. But then also, you look around it, how many people are sprinting back? Probably fewer than you would have expected from a Liverpool side. So I think defensively, yes, that is a concern. You know they'll get better. But if you have to score 4 goals every week to win games of football, I think that's going to be a concern.
I'm sure. Be thinking about that.
Oh, yeah.
But he loves the record.
Yeah, he loves the record. He's a goal scorer. He wants to score goals. He wants to break records. He's all about numbers. But that's amazing. When you look at that list there, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was incredible, wasn't it? The way he was stood there clapping, and you could see the tears starting to come in his eyes. It was very, very emotional. It was an unbelievable night.
And that's why he signs his 2 year deal. He signs it for this. He hasn't signed it for cash incentives. He wants to play at the highest level. He wants to score goals and he wants to chase down records. And he's certainly doing. If he stays fit, he'll catch Wayne and he'll catch Wayne, won't he? And he'll catch Harry Kane. No problem at all.
He's amazing, isn't he? You just thought, it's not happening for him tonight. And then, brilliant bit of play, brilliant finish. And so emotional, wasn't it, at the end, when he stayed out there with the fans singing with Diogo Jota and
today for Liverpool was always going to be an emotional day. And you've got a bunch of players who are going to do everything they can to try and have like a good performance to sort of commemorate Diogo Jota. And that's tough to play in, because I can go back to my career. In 2008, I played in the Manchester derby on the same day of the Munich disaster. Let's commemorate, I think it was maybe 50 years or whatever it was. And that day for United was a tough day for them. We ended up winning and we hadn't won there in 35 years. There's something about that sort of sense in the stands, what people really want and what they long for isn't necessarily something that comes easy. So credit to Salah, credit for Liverpool for finally getting it done.
Exactly. And could he get to that by the end of this season? It's not impossible. I mean, he scored 30 goals in the past to get close there to Harry Kane. I mean, it might take him a little bit longer. He signed a new 2-year contract, hasn't he? So you'd think if he stays fit, he's certainly going to go into second. Can he be Alan Shearer? He'd probably need to sign another contract, I would have thought.
For me, he's made a brilliant start.
Ekitike is off to such a flying start as that goal scorer. Do you want that influence around him? I'm not so sure I would want that. Ekitike has been brilliant. Obviously, we saw it in the Community Shield. We saw also in this game where he can be impactful earlier in a game. He doesn't need too many opportunities in front of goal to get his goal. And I love the way that he actually led to Cody Gakpo's goal as well, holding up possession of play, making that run into a position where no one's in, so getting into the space and being a wide player.
It just seems like he just wants to improve every day. We spoke there about, not being happy with the game, and we thought that he played well. Mo, you said it before about, even receiving the ball to feet, and that's a difficult thing to do. He runs in behind it. He walks into little pockets, so clever for a young player, and he takes his goal well. I spoke about before, taking on his back foot, so comfortable technically. But I mean, if it carries on like that, he'll score loads of goals.
Yeah, he carried on some from last weekend, didn't he, in the Community Shield? I think and it was interesting listening to him, hear him talk after the game in terms of with him saying the physicality of the Premier League had slightly different. He's gonna 1 minute he might be going up against a big centre half in a scrap, but I think he's got the intelligence also to drop off like he did for his goal. It was a lovely run to get the ball short, then find the space in the middle and go in behind. He might have got a little bit of luck in the ricochet with the tackle, but the way he finished it off, and then of course linking up with Gakpo, that goal as well. I think he played a large part in that with his hold-up play and the turn and the pass and all of that. So it's a very, very promising start from him.
Scores 2 in 2 important games straight away. And he's still only talking about his fitness levels can improve another third. After 60 minutes, he's got cramp. He says all the right things about adaptation to his team, about learning the language, about doing this, about doing that. He's got a really, really bright future. I mean, it's incredibly bright already. But you can see he's got a long way to go, hasn't he? And he wants to keep on improving. And he's going to get chances galore in this side the way Liverpool are playing.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought, your first game at Anfield, first game in the Premier League. We know how hard it is and how different it is from the Bundesliga. But he looked like he fit in very well. It didn't look out of place at all. Some great touches. He can dribble. And we can obviously see that he can finish as well. So all in all, as a number 9, he's got all the characteristics to be great, and really look forward to seeing more of him.
I think the one striker, the 9s, that really stood out for me, an impressive debut, was Ekitike.
But to be a centre forward, to make this feel your home straight away, to get on the score sheet, to feel important, to feel that you've got the respect of the players, the fans, the manager already. That goal will mean so much to him. He'll just feel part of things straight, and he can hit the ground running now.
We saw a little bit of what a player can give us in the last third, but because the layoff, the holding the ball, the movements, the runs, the connection between him, Birth, Salah and Gakpo, it was fantastic for just a short time that he's been on the team. So he's a player who I think that is going to give a lot.
He looks like he's started perfectly for what they needed. Because what was a lot of conversation? Liverpool needed a striker. They needed that number 9. And when you get a start like that against a big money signing, it's perfect.
I thought he looked really good. I think we can talk about the goal, which is obviously a great moment where he just gets that little bit of a ricochet at half time. It reminded me of Luis Suarez, the way in which you get that little bit of a break that you deserve when you're positive and you run at people. I thought he was really good on the second goal where he holds it up and just pops it off. So he's demonstrated that he can drop in, he can score goals, he can run past people, he can bring teammates into play. He looks a real talent. And obviously, we think that Isak's going to come to Liverpool in this next couple of weeks, but he's going to have real competition there.